Rosie, I think everybody's just seeing how free in his action Carey is.
It is Wayne Carey bringing the boys out. Very intense, they look down here. Mickey Martin, obviously coming back into the side, looks very, very keen. The boys will be keen to get on to the ground. The rain is just starting to happen down here too, guys, and that could have a big effect on the game. I think the rain probably will suit the Kangaroos, and it's just starting to come down a little bit now, but they are very intense, and the Kangaroos look like they've come ready to play, Bruce.
Thanks, Paul. Paul Roos on the boundary. Great to have you here tonight. And we go from the Kangaroo. The field would be enormous. Let's go down to the Hutto, who's right there alongside of them.
Thanks, Bruce. Yes, they're coming out with purpose down here. You talked about a few nerves in the camp. I think there certainly is, particularly amongst the officials, obviously, and also the players. At least they can go out and let their frustrations out. No change in the Melbourne lineup, so Travis Johnson will definitely play, despite the fact he didn't have a full session during the week. As far as the conditions are concerned, I think everyone would concede that probably it favours the Kangaroos. Although Melbourne are quick to point out they had a good win in the wet against the West Coast Eagles earlier on in the year, so they're hoping that they can adapt pretty quickly to the conditions.
1 week to the really big one, but the stakes are so high here, aren't they? They really are. Can the Kangas do it again, as they have in the last 2 years on this very night? Or will the Demons break some new ground? The first time in 12 years, the second time in 35, and go all the way to the grand final. The first 5 minutes will tell a tale here. And Spider just got over White on the opening bounce, and they come from everywhere, and there will be a ball out. And where is Neitz, by the way?
Neitz is lined up at full forward for the Demons. Mick Martin's got him, and we've got Jeff Farmer opposed to Byron Pickett just in the goal square as well. So they're putting their two heavy hitters in terms of potency right in the goal square.
Kangaroos renowned fast starters, the Demons renowned fast finishers. Now, an umpire not on the ball has picked out a free kick here. He's come in from a long way out of the square, and it's going to go to Walsh of Melbourne. Kick is well smothered by Harvey. Socket off the ground. Kangaroos going to the left of screen, but it's going to be chopped off quickly. That was Woden, who'll be looking for a big night. He's got Rigoni on the centre wing region. Archer comes in from the side and smashes into the pack. Pike tries to go through. The hand pass came out from Schwartz. It was a little loose for Lancelli. He bends it round the body. The danger zone as far as the Kangaroos are concerned. Into the forward pocket region it goes with McDonald. And he takes it to the line as Neitz is down. Behind play, he's close to the 50 line. He was in this pack. We called Archer coming in from the side. Neitz, as you can see, at the back going down. Still in the hands of the trainers.
Oh, that's not too serious. It's just one of those ones that takes your wind away for a little while.
Farmer, still Farmer. The handball finds Uze, the little giveaway. The kick by Phoebe to the goals is a behind. Archer was good, wasn't he, in that contest a moment ago, as he was last week.
You'd have to send out the runner to Cameron Bruce as well on the one where he collided with Neitz, because he peeled off him and came across as the third man up. And if he does that regularly, he'll win the ball through the air.
David King unloads and gets it out towards Spider Burton. McDonald pushes forward. Back to Phoebe, so a couple of early touches for the veteran. He's got Farmer. A couple of kicks away. The Wizard. About 80 metres from goal. Hooks it a bit. Martin's in the box seat with McCartney's. A poor kick from Farmer. Missed the lot, and McCartney's got it in the back pocket. Goes short and finds Pickett.
Pickett does well from the defensive 50, but he just chips up towards centre wing and finds McKernan. Dearly looking for a boom game. Corey McKernan gets up towards the half-forward line. The diving mark, it's going to be paid and John. Craig Shaw looks towards half-forward, up towards the 50. Carey, 1-2 grabs. Harvey off the ground. They're inside 50. Pressure now on White. He hasn't loose it. Walsh tackles high. It's going to be a free kick for the Kangaroos. He took David King a little too high, and King is going to have a set shot inside 50.
Well, he was a big goal kicker a couple of weeks ago, David King. Very quiet last week. He does run forward particularly well. He nearly got the ball first time when he ran forward and the ball was kicked off the ground. This time he just runs in, slides at the ball, and just a little bit indiscriminate with the left arm. Walsh over the shoulder. 26
goals for the season, and he's been fairly accurate.
At this point in time, he's matched up by Powell, and I don't know if they've run that close to each other. Both pretty hard at it, but they don't man up all that hard.
David King playing in his 20th final. Wayne Schimmelbusch holds the Roos finals record of 29 games. Here's King from 45 metres. Good start by the looks of it for the Kangaroos. King gets his first and the Roos.
It is a good start.
I would have said prior to that goal being kicked, the first couple of minutes was all Melbourne. They seem to be doing very well around the contest, but they do run well into space. They kept a nice open forward line. Craig Scholl, I like the placement of him up forward for the Kangaroos. It gives them a bit of structure, a good leading forward, and it just gives them a third option to sort of go along hand in hand with McKernan and Carey, the obvious big targets.
David King kicked the first goal against Essendon.
You'd love 7 again tonight, wouldn't they? They would love to get a big return from him in terms of goals. So the Kangaroos get the first after the Demons have done most of it. Burton again wins it to Blakey. Blakey to half forward, belted away by Woden on Stevens. Handball back from Walsh to Phoebe. Third kick for him. Tries to straighten it to Powell. Just over his head in the end. Burton important. Simpson has to get down low. Didn't take control of it. Demons all over him. Little handball out to Stevens, also down low. It is a bit slippery. And over the top of it was Leoncelli, and it will be a ball up at half forward. The Demons slightly in attack.
Just the way Leoncelli gathered that one in. He's got exceptional hands below when the ball's on the ground.
Lee Colbert, as you can see, starting on the bench tonight for the Kangaroos. Here's the Wizard again. He's in the middle, gives it off to Rigoni. Mighty tackle from behind.
Gee, the closing speed of Abraham then was unbelievable. The last couple of yards he made up so quickly.
What a tackle. Rigoni looked away and bang, they closed on him. Abraham from the middle of the ground towards Carey territory once again. Scholl is there as well, pushed in towards the forward pocket region. The Demon defence being tested early, but they're standing up okay. Leoncelli's got it on half back, chips in towards the centre of the ground. Rigoni can go again. He's not claimed this time. Guy Rigoni kicks it up towards the 50. 1-2 by Schwartz. Not enough. Powell tries to soccer off the ground. Can't get it away cleanly. Mick Martin almost threw it out to Pike. Back towards Powell. Back to Martin. Martin towards Rigoni. Can't take the mark. Picked up by Woden. A high left footer. In towards centre half forward. A big pack of players. The Kangaroo defence standing firm through Archer.
They love it scrappy, the Kangaroos, and they're getting it at the moment, aren't they? Cochrane at the half-back, who had an impact last week, kicks into the centre, not well directed. Ward gets across. The Demons can build here. Leoncelli on the end of it, as he often is. Might be a bit high for White. Archer's been pretty important in the early minutes. Robertson's little give to Phoebe. Phoebe just pops it up. Powell to get in front of Simpson, can't quite. Simpson happy to run it over the line and a boundary throw in.
Yeah, and on the Archer-Bruce duel too, it looks like Bruce's job is just really to run Archer around. He hasn't stopped running all night so far, and really if that's going to work, the Demons have got to use Bruce on the lead. At the moment they're just bombing up too long and too high, bringing Archer into the game.
Paul Roos down there on the boundary line. Robertson's handball. Walsh, good tackle by Harvey. Simpson maybe held on to, but good umpiring in the end. Got a toe poke away only as far as Robertson. He got rid of Shannon Grant. The handball to Leoncelli and board. Tackled by Bell. He shrugged it off, Leoncelli, but the handball wasn't good. And Harvey's away, and so are the Kangaroos.
Harvey kicks towards David King. One hand. Couldn't quite complete the mark. The Demons have got the numbers. They're going to come away again. We're set for a big game of football here. McDonald gets caught, tries to get it out to White. White goes even further afield now towards Ward. He looks up towards the half-forward line. Inside 50. Archer again will come in from the side, but he couldn't take it. Robertson tried to get it out the back. Chance now for Pickett to clear. He gets caught. He took them on, and he should have been beat.
Has to be ball.
But he wasn't. Socked off the ground by the Wizard, and he's answered. The Wizard has the goal. But I tell you what, it should have been a free kick.
If ever there is justice in this game, that is a perfect example of it. I mean, Byron Pickett, when he gathered the ball, he saw a needle-eye opening between the two defenders. He took them on and didn't dispose of the ball correctly. You can just see it here. He had plenty of time, and that's not an effective handball and should have been pinged, but in the end, the ball spilled out. And Jeff Farmer, well, that'll do wonders for his confidence.
So Farmer swooping on a Pickett mistake. He had Archer outside him too. Pickett decided not to go there. So the Demons in front. They've had most of it early, Now, the Kangaroos have looked dangerous when they've gone forward. Blakey gets inside that 50. Walsh took a chance on Harvey. Ingerson at the back kicks the ball wide to the wing. Woden and Stevens and Pike, they all missed it. Robertson's had some important handballs to Woden on the burst. Could run a bit further. Centering kick wants Bruce. Archer front spot. Martin at the back. Ever reliable Mickey. Hasn't played a lot of footy lately. In fact, 2 of the last 9 games only. Belts it wide to Blakey. What a remarkable story he is. Stops, props, fends off Schwartz. Has some time. Has plenty of time. And then decides to go long to half forward. McKernan takes a beauty. About 70 metres from goal. The paddock was set up. He gets himself on the wrong side. Can't quite get around Nicholson. He makes a bit of a meal of it, but he finds his man. It was fortuitous, but Bill was in the right spot at the right time.
Luck's of fortune. He didn't quite know what he was going to do, Corey. He wanted to get the ball on quickly because Craig Scholl was leading back to the goal square. But he got himself a little bit too close to Nicholson on the mark, and he realised the kick would have been smothered, so he thought, I'll try and run around him. But Nicholson didn't overcommit.
Bell from the pocket, hooks it a bit, and he's missed. So scores are level early stages of this preliminary final.
Let's have a look what they lay in wait here, the Kangaroos.
Stephen Phoebe comes in short. The only remaining demon from that debacle in 1988. There's McDonald towards centre wing.
Oh, Jeff White's pushed forward a bit here, Sam.
Peter Walsh. And there's his man. He's got him just outside 50.
He's got Powell out wide as well.
The lead is on from Schwartz. Can he get there in time? He can't, but it comes to Powell. Almost a ricochet. He eludes 1, eludes 2, snaps at goal, but goes right across the face and misses altogether.
That's just about a big enough danger sign to move Spider Burton away from the ruck, because the ball came in to play from the fullback kick in one direction, and Jeff White ran forward down the other wing, and he just got on the end of that kick as easy could be.
Mick Martin, 32 next week, being a grand player for the Demons. Speaking of grand players, what about this guy? Blakey, taken off the ball by Woden. And John Blakey, 34 years of age, 323 games, 24 finals. Sets them going to Archer. He looks towards half forward. McKernan leads to the outer side. Goes on quickly because Carey's to the pocket in front of Ingerson. Taken high. Carey will make the free kick. Tight angle, but within scoring range.
He had Anthony Ingerson in trouble a long way from home because he was leading back towards the goal square. Ingerson was trying to hang on to the jumper. Carey wrestled himself free, then led up the ground, and he just got caught a couple of yards off. He knew he was going to take the mark, so he said, I'll make him earn it and make sure there's plenty of contact.
Tell you what, if he hadn't have put the hand to the back of the head, he might have just about done enough to spill that ball free.
Here's the All-Australian captain. 4 times club champion, 46 metres out. Oh, that is a kick of a champion.
Nice touch.
That is the kick of a champion.
Didn't try and kick the cover off that one. He knew that he just had to steer it right with enough firmness here. Watch him jump here. And it's that left arm that does the damage for the free kick. It looked like the body pressure on him was enough. That's probably what lost Carey control of the ball. And the kick, just watch them. He just steers that and holds it. What a player.
Neil Danaher, Todd Viney. Blakey's taken it out of the centre both times so far. Let's see what happens here. White gets his hand on it. Harvey, not really effective, to Uze. Uze wide, wants Bruce. Archer with him all the way. Archer belts away. So we've got a Norm Smith medalist on a youngster playing in his first preliminary final in his first season of footy. And that symbolises a bit what we've got out there between the two teams, doesn't it? The contrast. Carey does look freer tonight than he has, I reckon, for a couple of weeks at least. It's whether he can sustain it over any period of time. Simpson's wobbly kick to centre wing. David King pushed off it by Guy Rigoni. It was good stuff. The handball was cut off by Abraham to Belly. Had Harvey short. He decided to blaze away. Carey's got a couple to beat. Phoebe belts to the line, and it's a boundary throw-in.
It looks like Phoebe's job too, fellas, is just to sit back on Carey on a 2-on-1. Every time they've gone forward, Phoebe's been loose and letting his player push up the ground.
So the Kangaroos just inside the 50. They lead by a goal.
See the commotion on the right-hand side of screen there. Cochrane is trying to tag McDonald. McDonald is trying to tag Peter Bell, and that's a hold out of it.
That's a poor decision.
And that's a hold out of it. It's a three-way merry-go-round there, trying to break a tag here.
So Bell takes it. I think it was meant for Burton, picked up by Simpson. Simpson a long bomb in towards full forward. Oh, waiting down his shoal. Kangaroos have a goal.
I should get to see that one again, Sandy. He actually pulls it back into the centre of the square by accident. I think if he just had got a clean fist on it and let it keep going in the same direction. Let's have a look at the free kick here. McDonald just trying to hang on to Bell. Jason, you called it was pretty soft.
Oh, shocking. Look, it was a 2-on-1 situation. Cochrane's trying to pick up Anthony McDonald. He went to pick up Peter Bell, and he was just trying to get clear.
One more goal, and it's the little nightmare that the Demons didn't want, isn't it? It's just the start that the Kangaroos got last week against the Hawks. The Demons have had plenty of it, but on the scoreboard it's 3-1, and Carey's been pretty active. Stevens scoops it out, and the Kangaroos will win again. And Harvey belts to full forward. McKernan's got it. Well, all the signs are there.
That's a brilliant mark. That was very, very good. He didn't look like he was in the right position, but he just used his body. He stretched the hips forward just to take Ingerson under the ball, and he does this very, very well and judges the flight best, takes it cleanly in the hands. If he starts grabbing them, they're in trouble, the Demons.
So it's like they're taking on the blue-collar workers with some white-collar class, aren't they, at the moment? And Cook's the goal. McKernan's been good. Carey's been important. And the Kangaroos are 3 goals in front.
It's a bit similar to what the Kangaroos did to Hawthorn last week. They jumped them at the start and they opened up a very big break. And then we saw the Hawks try and run them down. And we're all sort of thinking the same thing tonight. Probably the Kangaroos need to have a decent break at halftime because we know the Demons will run on hard.
And the blokes that have got the goals are Scholl, Carey, McKernan and King. They've played a bit of footy between them, haven't they?
Well, Melbourne gave Carlton a start, didn't they? 3 quarters. And McKernan with Alistair Nicholson paying the penalty.
Free kick against Scholl. Out of screen, just to the left. I think it was for a bit of a touch on the back of the head of his opponent.
So Powell gives it to Schwartz.
Oh, good kick.
That is a good kick, and they need an answering, steadying goal. Their skipper can give it to them.
And that's all started by a good move from Neil Danaher. He just sent David Schwartz down to centre-half back.
McKernan raised his hand there to the box saying, I've messed up. McKernan.
It was him.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, there was no doubt about that.
Just with a couple of goals kicked by the Kangaroos, David Schwartz moved down to centre-half back to try and steady the ship, ran off, took the handball and delivered to the skipper, David Neitz. Good to see him getting into the game.
Big kick then for the captain, directly in front, 46 metres out. Melbourne wanting a steadier, wanting to stay with the Kangaroos, the reigning champions, but it's away to the left.
Well, the Kangaroos, when they put up their defensive zone at the other end, they had 14 men in. Let's have a look at what Melbourne do. Same again, 14 men in a zone, the 2 furthest out, just up on the outside of the square, and leaving it pretty open up the middle here.
17 points the margin. Robertson couldn't take the mark. Phoebe comes inside to White. He's 45 metres out. It's a high kick for goal. Coming back. Great goal by Jeff White.
Left it very open up the middle once they turned it over, Jason, and they went back to the middle. There was just a swarm of Demons just running through there, Jeff White being on the end of it. The corridor's clear right now, and that's where they run through.
I thought Robertson was stiff not to get the free kick early, but there are very few ruckmen in the competition that have the skill of Jeff White. I mean, that is a drop punt around the corner that he bent back. Very few big men could actually pull that off.
Big goal by White.
There's 7 men in the back line now. The Demons, last time they pushed Neitz into the back line for the bounce. This time Schwartz is back there and they just run through on the play. He'll come through the screen here.
So Burton and White together, handball by Powell, then Burton pushes forward. Collins very hard at it, and then Woden's got hold of it now and decides to go longer full forward. Can Farmer get a run at it? He's at the back, he got rid of Pickett, his little left foot is rolling through. It's a second goal to Farmer. They were never going to get it. It just kept tumbling away, didn't it?
I tell you what happened to Melbourne, Jason. You call that a lot of play early, and the Kangaroos were bottling up their forward line. What's actually happened, Melbourne have pushed men into their own back line now and freeing up their own forward line, and the Kangaroos have said, well, if they do that, we're going to man them up. So at the other end, when Melbourne are bringing the ball forward, it's just totally open.
Yep.
The ball bounces into space. There's room to move, room to run onto the ball. He's coaching exceptionally well here. He's imposing his will here, Neil Danaher.
He's been big, hasn't he? When he has been big, you look at that. Only Lloyd has kicked 7 goals in a match more times than Farmer this year. When he's on, he is so dangerous.
And you mentioned it before, Bruce. All the right players are coming into the game. The ingredients are there for a spectacular clash, aren't they?
Schwartz at the back of the square again.
2 early goals to Farmer. White wins it. Confident boosting start where Woden couldn't take it. Neither could Abraham. Powell at the bottom of the pack. Out it comes towards Uzebi, only had it for a moment. Burton goes wide. The Demons have got the numbers. They have steadied. There's no doubt about that. Kick by Phoebe up towards half forward. Past Bruce it goes, and also Neitz. The hand pass back to David Neitz. Here's danger for the Kangaroos. Woden is 40 metres out, 45-degree angle. And has this kick to give Melbourne the lead.
Gee, I know that the Kangaroos have some wonderful fighting spirit, but we're going to see it tested unbelievably here if the Demons hit the front.
Has been a very consistent player. Hasn't missed a game this year, Shane Woden. There you can see Junior written on his hands. Woden. Melbourne, the lead. They've got it.
Well, that was just good use of the ball up forward. I mean, Robertson judged the ball very well. He didn't attack the clash. He saw Neitz leading out. He stayed on his feet, and he just delivers a slick little handball off his knees, and then David Neitz finessed the ball particularly well. Shane Woden would have known that there were players coming, but he stood his ground, took the mark, and lined up beautifully. Good touch from David Neitz.
After James McDonald did his knee, Neil Danaher got into play a video to the players, and Woden for the second time has written Junior on his hand tonight. And it's been an emphatic reply by the Demons, hasn't it? It's been just what they needed, 3 goals in a hurry.
Rock solid. They're moving through on the bounces with a wave.
Again, Woden. We just alluded, a couple of tackles on him, and now the Kangaroos are forced to get a goal to reply. Powell, they swarm forward again, the Demons. Neitz' handball. Woden's on his wrong side. He can now straighten up. He didn't get any balance, did he? You're the master of gymnastics, Sandy. How many would have you got for all of that?
4 out of 10.
You could see what he was trying to do, and he was just trying to chip it over the top, but he was doing it while turning a full 360 spin. Nearly impossible.
And there was one of the judges you could just see in action.
I tell you what, that is one of the true tests of a player with unbelievable foot skills, being able to kick the ball when you're actually moving backwards. Very few can do it.
Demons in attack. Neitz, Farmer, who's already kicked 2, works it to the pocket.
Tell you what, they've got plenty of ball at the moment, the Demons. 13-7 inside 50 in their favour, which is a very good result. And there's a poor matchup happening for the Kangaroos at the moment because Cochrane keeps going to Anthony McDonald. He just picks up Bell, so they're running in a 2-on-1, and that's allowing Phoebe to play loose down back.
And White's gone down to the goal square, boys, too, taking Burton down with him.
Paul Roos reporting from the boundary line, and wanting the boundary line then was McMartin. Aiding him is John Blakey. So the Kangaroos feeling the early pressure. They started well, but Melbourne have hit back. 2 goals to Jeff Farmer, 1 to Woden, 1 to White.
Have a look at that group forming up on the half-forward flank. We've got a merry-go-round going up there.
We've got danger here. Neitz off the ground, but he can't get a boot to it.
Thanks,
7 effective scoring shots to 5, favouring Melbourne. Just under 7 minutes left in the first quarter.
See Melbourne vacate the spine of sorts. There's a chip up the middle. Goes for the safety after the last kick in.
Rain has cleared, which is good news. Archer goes to the outer side. McKernan was there. Oh, Martin Pike takes them on and wins the sprint, but then kicks down towards half-forward. There's not a lot there for him, however. Melbourne defence has certainly tightened up. Ward had it, but then he lost it, dropped it, and it might open the door for Shannon Grant. He played really well last week, got caught, could have almost lost it. Ward will tidy up, and he does well. Just pokes it onto the left foot, in towards Liancelli. He marks towards the centre, wants to get on with it. He had Gergic screaming for it, and he's not alone. Here goes Gergic now. Time to recover. He has a look towards the 50 once more. Melbourne now doing the bulk of the attacking, up towards Neitz, Farmer and co. Martin clears wide to the boundary line, but Woden won't be able to keep it in. We've got a boundary throw in on centre wing. And a big first quarter unfolding. Inside 50, as you can see, Melbourne dominating after the Kangaroos got away early on. 14-7.
Getting good run out of their back line too, the Demons. It's all with purpose.
Pike, still with Pike, did pretty well in the end. Tried to straighten up. Carey gets a crack at it. Down towards Shoal, missed him. Woden's been so important, as he has all year. Collins and Cochrane, well done Cochrane, but it comes out to the Demons. They seem to have numbers everywhere. Rigoni to McDonald. Gee, Neitz was terrific. Should have got a free kick. Schwartz should kick a goal. Lines them up, and does. Well, 10 minutes ago, I was talking about a little nightmare. Right now, I reckon it's been turned around the full circle. This is just the game plan. The Demons trying to run the Kangaroos off their legs, aren't they?
Well, it's working right from the half-back line. You saw the fact that when Carey was forced to spoil over the top of Collins, it just shows that they weren't confident enough to mark, and they just ran it away.
Melbourne by 8 points in a big turnaround here at the MCG. Friday night final, it's something the Kangaroos have become used to in recent times, but they're not enjoying this at the moment. Just look at the tackle of Schwartz. He rips them apart, but the Kangaroos maintain possession through Stevens. His kick is poor. Ward couldn't take it. Eventually he does. Three grabs.
Quick stat, handball run to receives. Melbourne 27, Kangaroos only 5.
They call it Ward, it was Walsh who took it.
Melbourne player down behind play.
We'll keep an eye on him as play goes on.
Anthony McDonald.
McDonald is up. Pike has it on centre wing. Goes back towards Walsh and co. That's where it came from. He was at the back. Rigoni at the front. Can't take it. Phoebe over the top. Rigoni goes again. Walsh comes clear with a hand pass. Now they can set it up to Liancelli via Jeffrey White. Liancelli, lovely kick. Beautiful. Neitz inside 50.
He lost Mick Martin in the mix there because the ball looked like it was going to go to the other side of the ground. And once Andrew Liancelli straightened up, it really opened up the opportunity for Neitz to come back the other way. You just see him do a little bit of an arc there, and poor old Mick got caught watching the ball.
And just in the last 4 or 5 minutes, the Kangaroos a little mesmerised. Caught in the spotlight, maybe.
They've surged, the Demons, haven't they?
Here's Neitz, 51 metres out. Starting at left.
Same as the last one, Sandy. He's almost hit that off the instep. Possessions 73 to 43 in favour of the Demons, so they're just dominating them.
McDonald okay. Pickett takes a chance, comes out wide. He wants McCartney or maybe Capuano, who's just come on. Capuano couldn't take the mark. It's a bad result in the end. It goes to White. Powell, it was a poor kick by White. Pickett just wobbles it over the line for a boundary throw in.
On the Kangaroos kickouts too, every Kangaroos player comes up on the defensive side of the centre square. There's every Kangaroos player, not one player the other side of the centre at the moment.
Johnson gets his first run, Ruzi. So, and Clayton comes on for Capuano, so he wasn't out there very long. They're looking for a bit of a run. Gee, well done by Schwartz to Gergic. Check side goal. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. They've kicked 5 consecutive goals here, the Demons.
I guess there's no need to use your left foot when you can kick a banana like that, is there? Look, that looked to be an obvious situation to run out and kick it around the corner on your left, but he just felt confident enough to kick a little banana, and he did it beautifully.
They are just irresistible, this Melbourne midfield.
I'll tell you what they are doing at ball-ups and throw-ins around the pack. they're really blocking well for each other, the Demons midfielders, and that's allowing someone to run forward pretty much free. And a couple of times it's worked and paid huge dividends. Grgic on that occasion.
They come through in a wave, don't they?
Grgic gets his 9th goal for the season, and perhaps the most exciting.
They're winning the ball inside their own 52 20 times. Kangaroos only 7 at the other end.
15 points the margin. Wide again down towards Woden. Smashed clear. Dangerous time now for Clayton. He gets it off towards Cochrane. Kangaroos desperately want a goal before quarter time. And that's a strong mark. They're going to get the chance through Scholl to have a shot inside 50. Craig Scholl.
He's looked pretty dangerous. He's looked very dangerous up there for him. He just judged the ball better then. Pretty important kick this. He really needs this to steady the ship for the Kangaroos because they are under the pump big time.
Got the recall a fortnight ago. Dennis Pagan calling on his experience, and he's had plenty of that. This is his 20th final. 52 metres out. They struggle with the distance.
That's a beautiful kick.
Gets there. He gets there. Big goal for the Kangaroos. Big goal for Scholl. His second.
He's become a much maligned player in recent times, Craig Scholl. He seems to be the one that always bears the brunt of a poor performance. He's the one that's dropped or taken off the ground first. But he just judged it better there. He had a player in front, a player behind. He tracked the ball, kept his eyes on it at all time. And that's a very important kick from just outside the 50.
Size-wise, he's a good match-up against Collins. Collins listed at 186, Scholl around the 190 mark, so he probably beat him in the air, but Collins is going to take some minding. He's been very good at running it out in the opposite direction too.
That's the good thing about Craig Scholl. He can play tall and short.
It's a bit of a shootout at the moment. You reckon that'd fancy the Demons long term, wouldn't you?
Oh, yeah.
It's 6-5, but that was an important goal. Liancelli out of the centre. A high ball. That was great courage. Terrific stuff, McCartney, to get back. Then swings it wide. Grant's been quite early, starting to work into it. Pushing wide to McKernan and Carey. And Carey, I think, in the end was pretty happy. Throwing a kiss at somebody. I'm not sure who's caught it. All in good fun. All in good fun.
All of the Melbourne supporters, their members. Good on you, Duck.
Good crowd. Probably about 55,000 here. And they're into it. Abraham running onto it. Phoebe was good. Still with Phoebe. I think Grant fancied himself. Actually, Phoebe was terrific, wasn't it?
Shannon Grant's actually Phoebe's direct opponent. They seem to be letting Grant just run up the field, and Phoebe's just hanging back.
Just a little one. Just throwing a little one.
Actually, Roosie, I saw that the last boundary kicking for the Demons. Grant ran up the middle by himself.
Every centre bounce too, Dermot. Grant's starting on the wing and Phoebe's starting right deep in defence. So it seems to be that they're happy to let him start on the wing or at half back and give him freedom up that part of the ground.
Phoebe's had 10 possessions in the first quarter so far, and Grant's only had one effective kick. Collins a bit stiff not to get the free kick. It comes out wide to Uze.
A good kick from Travis Johnston. Good to see him on the ground. There's a chance for the youngster again, and he does pretty well. Round the body goes to Woden. Pickett caught, taken to the line.
Nice matchups, Sandy. So I was just going to say the matchups are working very well for the Demons at the moment. You've got Grant with 1 possession, Harvey 3, and King only 1.
Throw in on right half forward. Waiting down is Grgic. Pickett there also. Martin over the top. Belted out of the pack. David King on the full. And the D's will get a chance through Peter Walsh to come back again.
So I reckon John Eales would have been happy with that one.
Going to say,
get a piece of it.
You're going to be really good to do that. Maybe even Andrew Merton, you know, the all-time champion.
Yes.
He would have liked the bounce just inside, though. Not to be. Walsh short to White.
Not scared to chop it around like that, are they? Just to try and break it up. They'll do it again here.
From the centre wing, they've got Grgic down to right half forward. He's now in towards the half forward. Neitz, I think, gave us a bit of a nudge. And David Neitz will take the free kick. Or at least give it away. It goes to the outer side. Shane Clayton, who's on the ground, started on the bench. Clayton looks towards Pickett on the far side. Pickett a little bit of time. Well, he had time. He had it, and he lost it. And now Collins might make him pay. Hand pass over the top to Farmer. The Wizard looks in towards half forward, and the mark is taken by Uze.
She's got players streaming towards goal as well.
Just on 50, directly in front. 30 seconds remaining for the quarter.
She was an important turnover. I mean, Pickett, he was trying to get free to deliver the long ball to Winston Abraham, who'd broken it half forward, but this could be a very, very costly turnover.
Well, they'll get the journey. He can kick it, this kid.
He's been a goal kicker for the Demons this year, 36 to his name. The long left footer is taking it just to the right, a little too far.
Let's see on this kick-in, Sandy, if they concede Shannon Grant again to run up the middle.
Shannon Grant's just been taken off, Dermot. He's actually been replaced by Makepeace, so I don't think he'll be getting this kick out.
It'd be a miracle.
Pickett's kick, good one to Blakey. Blakey wide to Clayton. Clayton finds McKernan.
Still got Abraham loose.
But beaten by the siren. What a terrific first quarter. The Demons looked good early but didn't score. The Kangaroos in kicked 4-1, and then Melbourne kicked 5 unanswered, but the Kangaroos got an important late one. So well set up. The Demons in front though here at quarter time. They'd be pretty happy. They lead by 10 points. It's 6-5 to 5-1.
Through on this bounce down, Sandy.
10 points the margin as we go into the second quarter. Jeff White setting himself. McKernan going up even earlier, off to Anthony Stevens. Quiet early.
That's the extra number.
Kick drops short to Woden, but he's claimed. Rigoni's able to give it away towards Walton. There's been a whistle. Back it will come, and the Kangaroos will get a chance for an early start in this term.
Poor talk by his teammates there. Should have let him know how hard it was for him, how hot he was.
Makepeace puts them inside 50. The lead was on, but dropping into the hole was Andrew Leoncello, who's got Woden drifting wide to the other side. He was interfered with. Woden, the free kick.
Good decision.
Gee, Jeff White's working hard.
Comes inboard towards Phoebe. Look out, because David King's at the back, but he doesn't get there in time.
They'll hold him up.
Phoebe coming wide. He's got Peter Walsh. Walsh can run in. He could almost have a shot if he wanted to, but he knows the Wizard is lurking in the area. Can't take it. Hobbit comes towards Pike. Tries to chop his way clear. Then kick wide towards the half-back line. Carey a long way down. He's claimed by Travis Johnson. Pushed off the ground by Cochrane towards the line. Walsh won't get there in time. And with Makepeace, we've got a throw in.
So that Walsh. Kick by Walsh, it really needed to wait further over to the other side of the ground. It made Jeff Farmer stop in his lead.
Just in the attacking zone. Martin might even contest this. Bounces nicely into the breadbasket for Mick. Then he kicks wide towards centre wing. Taken over the line after some jostling between Phoebe and Makepeace.
$11 possessions for Phoebe. So he's had a great start, the Melbourne veteran. McKernan now, there's a free kick, I think, to McKernan for White hanging on to him. And the Kangaroos will come back.
You just have to grab Jeff White's body every time with the boundary line throws. You've got to lay body on body and try and outmuscle him. He likes to get a clean jump at it.
McKernan, terrible kick, just floats it, but Abraham's got it. No, he hasn't in the end. Didn't take it. The bell handle. Abraham high tackle. He did duck. They've got him. Now he's going to pay the free kick. Gee, it was a late call.
Well, I reckon he thought, I missed the first one. I've got an opportunity here to make it. I mean, he did duck the first time, but if you do get decent, solid contact to the head, we have a look. Well, it was more the body than the arms that took him, but then maybe it was the leg coming in.
Perhaps
a little bit dangerous as he slid in Walsh.
It was an awfully long time. I timed it in the slow-mo.
Well, Ward it was, not Walsh.
Just think that...
we hope it was the second one then.
At the end of the night, if the Kangaroos are to win, they've got to kick all of these, you think, don't they? They just can't miss these. The Demons missed a few in the opening term. Abraham, careful with it. It's a good kick, and he's got it. Well, the reality is they've kicked the last 2 goals of the match. The Scholl goal late, and the Abraham goal early, and the scoreboard at least tightens up.
have a look at it again. That's the one he coughed up, and he's pretty disappointed, but it finds its way to him. He ducks. That's not paid, and we can only assume that that's the one that's paid against young Daniel Ward. Good kick.
Back to a 4-point ball game. With the Kangaroos getting the start in this second quarter they wanted. Powell goes wide. He's probably looking towards Liancelli territory. Gets another chance himself. Can poke the Demons up towards half forward. Uze, the left footer, the loping left footer to the wizard. That's exciting football out of the middle.
Do a bit of umpiring as well, Jeffrey.
Well, that worked out beautifully. Once the ball skewed off the side of the boot and ended in Adam Uze's hand. And as soon as it hit Adam Uze, like a shot, Jeff Farmer from the goal square, he said, I've got space in front of me, I'll lead straight at him. And the ball got drilled in beautifully.
How good is that camera shot of the incoming ball?
But number 3, the Wizard goes for goal and gets it. The Demons answer.
Read that pretty early there, Jason. Got the jump on Byron Pickett, and we do know that Byron... Watch this shot. I mean, look at the toe, look at the foot, look at the ball.
His yard's clear too, isn't he? I mean, if there is space there, we know Byron's pretty quick. He did injure his knee a couple of weeks ago, but Jeff Farmer off the mark is lightning.
Plays off the back of him, though. Tries to second-guess a bit, Byron Pickett. And against the players as instinctive as Farmer, he will get hurt.
Mark Harvey from Essendon made the observation during the week that Farmer's great fresh, week off, didn't get a goal 2 weeks ago. Boy, he started well here, hasn't he?
Yeah.
There's the interchange for the Kangaroos. 7-5-6-1. Farmer's kicked 3 goals early into the second quarter. We know he can get big bags. Johnston's hands were good. Woden again, just knocking up, getting possessions. The high bomb, Neitz was underneath it. The big fist in the back. Ragoni stood and waited to Powell. Still with Powell. He got rid of one, shrugged a second, loads it up, kicks it poorly, and misses from behind.
Gee, that's a bad option from Stephen Powell. He had 2 players. Farmer was one of them, who's just pointing all of a sudden to the space that he was in, and Brent Gergich was the other. As we see a few of the Carlton gentlemen in Steve Kernahan amongst others, having a captain cook.
With David Parkin there and Cole Kinnear and Wayne Britton's here and John Worsfold. Clayton's kick to half-back to Makepeace. Now can the Kangaroos get some structure going and build up? They're certainly close enough on the scoreboard, but the feeling here is that the Demons are a couple of goals away from breaking them. But this is a resilient team who have been here so often. Stevens helps out. Harvey slaps it forward. King was clever. Abraham's handball to Cochrane. Kicked one last week. Handball dreadful. Behind Pickett. Back to Cochrane. Fends off. Handball okay. Carey, left foot in the pocket. Measures it and delivers again. As he does. No. Yes, he does. As he's done so often. They're hanging around. They're hanging around the Kangas.
You've got to take your hat off to Stuart Cochrane. You can see he was trying to set it up. He knew they had an extra number and he was going to come one side. Then he heard the call on the inside. You can just see it here. He's got a player on both sides. He thinks I'll handball inside to Byron Pickett. Misses the target, but he didn't give up. He fought off. He fended a player off. And then of all people to give it to one of the King.
Bit of training drill in that. Follow your disposal. That's ingrained.
Well done by Stuart Cochrane.
Tex.
His second attempt successful.
The Kangaroos hierarchy look like they've made a conscious decision not to let Phoebe run free either.
Goal for goal at the moment. Uze caught in the middle. They pounce on it. And there will be a ball up. Umpires tonight are Hayden Kennedy, Brian Sheehan and Gavin Dorr. They've got a good tight contest, a 5-point ball game early in the second quarter. McKernan doing the ruck work. A couple of big men on the bench at the moment. Capuano and Burton. Down towards the half-forward line. Clean bowls the lot except for McCartney. Gives it away towards King. That's trademark David King as he dashes through the half-back line. Asks McKernan the question to stretch him. Look at that to Carey. The skills of Carey, but the kick's a little disappointing as he wobbles it down inside 50. Can they take advantage when they've got it there? Socket off the ground by Simpson. In towards full forward. The diving Winston Abraham couldn't take it and eventually forces it over the line. as he stretches out Matthew Collins and keeps the ball in the area.
That midfield for the Demons has been so impressive. Only Leoncelli's missed a match this year, and look at the goals. They total up to 114. They've got so much out of them this year.
Carey again slaps it towards Bell, who was running towards goal. Scholl won't keep it in.
Looks like Travis Johnson on the ground for his first run, Sandy. Just saw that one over the line. Peter Bell on screen now.
He had a little run, I think, in the opening team, Dermot, just for a couple of minutes or so.
Cameron Bruce coming off now.
Bruce off, and coming back on for Melbourne is Anthony McDonald.
Oh, that's off the ball.
Ooh, Carey pleading.
He was doing a good job earlier, Anthony McDonald, before he actually got cleaned up. He was tagging Peter Bell. Now Andrew Leoncelli is doing the job on Bell as McDonald goes forward, being picked up by Glenn Archer.
Kangaroos have started this second term pretty well. They've had a fair bit of it, and they've reduced the margin. Simpson's well done by Harvey against Walsh. Ward was just terrific as he got it to Woden, to Powell. Powell keeps it in play. Uze! Big fly. Couldn't take the mark. Blakey, boundary throw-in.
I noticed one thing about Melbourne. When they bring the ball forward, their players are scattered across the field. They can use it and they can spread the workload. When the Kangaroos are going forward, Melbourne just encroach all on the one side that the ball's coming in on, and they make it packed football for the Roos to come forward.
Woden brilliant after White got it to him. Gergic searching handball. McDonald at full pace. Left foot for goal. Disappointing result. Martin's got it.
He tried to stab the ball through. He tried just to punch it low, and he didn't make correct contact. He needed to have a little bit more of a swing at that one.
5 points the margin. He comes short to Bell. There's no one on the mark. But he didn't have a lot downfield. Now he goes back and waits. Martin gives him something. Mickey runs on. Looks towards Simpson at centre wing. McKernan has the height. Uze has the footy, and that's all that counts. In towards the half-forward line, and Gergic. Still a long way from home. Gergic, penetrating kick towards the Wizard and Neitz. Martin was there. Neitz takes it off the pack. He bends it back, but not enough, and one behind.
And White coming off for a spell too.
3 behinds to the skipper.
Taking some minding though. They've got the big fella on him, Mick on him.
Pickett to himself. Martin taking care of Neitz to give Pickett a bit of a run. Well, he's going to have to be good. Well done by Neitz.
Oh, look at the players in the goal square.
Woden is off. He bends a big left footer in towards Gergic. He gave a nudge. Palmer was in front. Couldn't take the mark. Martin on the last line of defence. Comes away to the outer side.
Doesn't get it all that far, but Makepeace read it pretty well. A good tackle on him. Woden's been absolutely brilliant. His handball, well read by Harvey. And this is a big turnaround to Stevens. Stretches him out a bit. Gets back onto the left. Finds some territory. He's got Bell wide. He goes out wide. Little Bell can run on and kick a goal. The Kangaroos could be in front. It looks all right. He's done it. They're in front. It's all square, I should say. I tell you what, Byron Pickett is feeling a lot better than he was 1 minute ago.
Well, you just get the feeling with Byron, he knows that he's got his hands full with Farmer, so when he does get the ball himself, he's trying too hard to make things happen. He's just got to play the percentages a little bit more. But in the end, there was some great running. Brent Harvey winning the ball in the middle, shot the handball out, and then Peter Bell snuck forward, and he's a very good finisher.
I've got to say on those kick-ins, apart from the very first one, the 6 points thereafter, Byron's gone short of the pocket or tried to play on through the pocket.
Kangaroos' accuracy keeping them in this game. 8 goals won to 7-7. Twelve and a half minutes remaining. McKernan beaten. White and Woden. Dangerous. Woden's kick down towards the half-forward line. The goal bangs it in towards the pocket. He keeps it in play, David Neitz, and he flicks it around the body in towards full forward. Farmer and Co was there. Travis Johnson was at the back, couldn't take it cleanly. McCartney takes on about 4 of them. Powell goes to ground. Gergic scouting. Powell comes up with it, caught by Clayton. Travis Johnson tries to storm through. He is well held, and umpire Brian Sheehan comes in for a bounce.
Looks like Cochrane running away from this scrimmage. Getting set to be replaced by somebody. Jeff White taking a breather. That's a big pack of players, Sandy.
Let's see who can take advantage of it from the throw-in. It is the Wizard. 42 metres out. Away goes the Wizard! Number 4 to Farmer.
Well, Dermot, you made mention that there was a big pack forming, and the best way to lose your opponent is in heavy traffic, and that's all Jeff Farmer did. He led up from behind the pack. He was on the goal side of the pack. He took off around the top, and you can just see Byron Pickett. He got caught amongst all the players, and Farmer had all the time in the world to straighten up and kick a goal.
See that once again? The first push, he actually conceded. He said, he can go. Yep. He thought, I'll try and win the ball rather than be responsible for the man. Gets caught out again. There's another goal against him.
Change has been made.
Isn't Farmer answering the critics in a big game tonight? He's kicked 4 goals. He's been outstanding. Burton on the ball. Capuano's having a run as well. The Kangaroos have kicked a free kick against it. Who is it against? Who's got possession? It's a Kangaroo free. No, it's a Demon free kick, is it?
Troy Simmons.
They're playing 2 on Jeff Farmer now. King is actually facing him, and Pickett staying 20 metres out further in front.
Walsh's kick found its mark in Neitz. I was going to say the Kangaroos have kicked 4 of the last 6, even with the Wizard goal, but Melbourne with a chance here.
David King's gone back onto Jeff Farmer, and the man that was picking him up, Guy Rigoni, is now being attended to by Byron Pickett.
Neitz' goal, Neitz. He's kicked 3 behinds. The other captain at the other end has kicked 2 goals. He's kicked it beautifully. He's kicked it home. Scoring so freely, that's the problem, isn't it?
You just get the feeling Melbourne are a little bit more methodical about the way they create goals, whereas when it gets down the other end, they have to fight tooth and nail and produce something out of the ordinary to kick a goal, the Kangaroos. But with Melbourne, they're dominating in the midfield and they're delivering the ball to their forwards.
They've actually spaced apart the Kangaroos' back line now. They've worked it to their advantage.
12 points the margin as David Neitz breaks the ice. He's got 1-3. Simmons has done pretty well since coming on. His combining with Woden has been impressive. He goes again. This time Woden finds Uze up towards the half-forward line. Neitz was a target. Gergich does the roving. Couldn't quite take it cleanly. Away comes Archer to Bell on the outer side. Peter Bell is clear. Kangaroos need something here. Bell's away with a couple of ounces. From half-back in towards half-forward, in towards the 50. Smashed away to the line.
No, that's a free kick and a deserved free kick.
Given away a free kick. He was, hanging on as Scholl tried desperately to take the mark. He's got the ball. Tight angle. And a long way out. He's kicking from just outside 50.
13 Melbourne players inside that defensive 50.
Scholl kicked 2 in the first quarter. High ball into the square. Big pack of players. Waiting at the back was Powell. Defends towards the half-back line. Pike gets a B-grade bounce, but he's not the only one. So too did Rigoni. Comes towards Pickett. He gets another chance. A high ball in towards half-forward. Makepeace going back in the pack. Couldn't take the mark. Again, the Demon defence standing firm. Stephen Powell. And eventually, we will see a throw-in 10 metres around, with Melbourne leading by 12 points.
Anthony Stevens got an important touch there. That they were away, the Demons. He just got a finger to the Powell kick. Ingerson at the back, down to Harvey. Still with Harvey to Bell. He's got him. Probably can't kick a goal from here, Bell. Plays on. He can from here, though. 40 metres out, and he does. It's like the old prize fighter.
Yeah.
They're not going to go down without a really big fight.
They just went to sleep, the Demons' defence. There were 3 players around him. Obviously, none of them were his direct opponent because they all turned around and started heading for their opponent. And in the end, he had space to play on and kick because he was out of range. He wouldn't have been able to kick it from just outside 50.
Team lifting goal there by Peter Bell for the Kangaroos. He's now got 2, both in this quarter. 9 goals, 1. You can't question their accuracy.
He's had about 10 touches or 8 or 9 touches this quarter now, Peter Bell.
The hero of the Melbourne comeback against Carlton comes onto the ground. Brad Green replacing Gergich. Simmons in ruck.
And he's done pretty well, Simmons. Up against Spider Burton. It's Burton who wins it, though Woden has been taken out of the middle. Again, it is no exception, down towards the 50. The race is on, and Neitz leads in the race. Got a quick hand pass to keep the ball in play. Here's the man you're talking about, fresh on the ground. Green gets a high ball. He wants the wizard. Everyone wants the wizard, but not to be this time, as Stevens defends on the last line. He goes towards Clayton on the outer side. Got someone going past, and guess who? Peter Bell again, in towards the centre of the ground. Simpson thought about going on with the job. Players streaming down the ground. Simpson kicks to half forward. Burton sets himself. The big man can't take it. Poked it down in front towards Makepeace. Now Burton's got to go against the smaller men, and he's not equal to the task as Leoncelli comes towards Johnston. Johnston is away. Melbourne is away. Johnston bounces his way through the middle. Gets past McCartney. Spears in the pass. It's going to be okay. Will come back again. They're trying desperately to set something up, and finally they've got it on the 50. Powell, 45-degree angle, chipping away. We'll have to go again. That was a little too short and not too pretty. Stevens couldn't take it. Leoncelli slaps it back to Powell. Powell from 52 metres. A long bomb by Powell is a goal. Is a goal.
Well, Andrew Leoncelli, he's not an absolute hero in the eyes of every football follower in this country, but I'll tell you what, he is one of the best midfielders going around. Sure hands, and his deft little touch on it after this smother. Watch Leoncelli come in and just tap it back to Powell. It's not a possession, it won't go in any stat book. Watch this.
He just had the line of the ball. It wasn't going to get past either way. Yep. And Stephen Powell, he finally got it right second time around. he would have loved to have got a second opportunity at that after messing up the first short kick.
Blood rule on Rigoni here. Yep, that won't go in the book as any stat to Leoncelli, but it was worth a goal.
You can just see when he knew if Stevens gets by, they're away. So he said, OK, if I don't get the ball, I'll get the player. He put himself right in line with the ball and the player, and either way, he was going to come out on top.
Woden's taken it out of the centre 3 times in this quarter. It's 6-1 the Demons in this term. Cameron Bruce comes on.
Lee Colbert not having been on the ground, you wonder whether that's a set plan by Dennis Pagan, perhaps to bring him on in the second half. He hasn't seen the football, hasn't seen the surface yet. He's
been sluggish, hasn't he, over the last month with his foot pace. So perhaps to get the absolute heat run out of the game and then use him in the second half, perhaps, Ruzi?
Inside 50s in this term, 12 to the Demons, 7 to the Kangaroos in this quarter, but it's a 12-point ball game. It was 10 points at quarter time, so North still hang on here. Watch for Woden, he's been the man, got his hands on it. Burton slapped it, Walsh, Bell, they were a bit high on him, and then Woden comes in high. The free kick to Simpson.
Pagan's got 7 men in his back line on that bounce, so he's turned the tables a little bit, freed it up in Kangaroos forward line.
Simpson, he wants Carey. Ingerson was able to work him under it, and then Ward, Abraham runs him down a bit. Ward's kick out wide. I think it's down the ground, is it?
Yep.
Against Abraham?
Yeah, dragged him down after he kicked. It was half in the kick. He's a bit stiff there, Winnie.
So it's a Melbourne kick to Green at Setterweg. Demons 17 shots to 10. They lead by 12 points.
Big clog up in front of them here, Bruce. This will be a valuable possession, the next one.
Martin's there. McCartney was at the back of Neitz. Front spot was Clayton. His leg speed could be important tonight. Kicks to McKernan. Should be a free kick. Nicholson's all over him, and Corey McKernan's got it.
Kicked 1 goal in the first quarter. 75 out. Looks towards half forward. Big pack of players, and it's smashed down. Melbourne defence has been pretty good and pretty miserly. They can set something up again. Simmons tries to get the hand pass away. Successful towards the wizard. He goes wider to Uze. If it sits for Adam Uze, he's got Leoncelli screaming for it, but he elects to go longer towards Neitz. Martin is there, and Mickey only wants one thing. That's the boundary line, but he's juggled that. Maybe the second grab was over the line.
He's claiming it, Mickey, but I don't think he pulled it in time. Might have been a bit stiff not to be paid the mark. We see him, he affects the spoil here with the swinging right arm. Does he get it inside the boundary line? That's the question mark that would make it a mark.
Oh,
that's a mark.
I reckon it's a mark.
Yep.
Well, he might get a chance again. Pike brings it towards the half-back line. Abraham got an awful bounce. An opportunity opens for Walsh. Takes on one, beats them, gives it away quickly once again. Daniel Ward goes for goal. And misses to the left.
Gee, he broke that open with pace, didn't he? That is a real worrying sign for the Kangaroos. If somebody splits you open like that.
There's a mix attempted mark. Well,
Got to pay that.
yeah, that was a mark.
Wrong spot to see it, the umpire. Now, Byron Pickett, when he was kicking in, he kicked it to himself and played on through the pocket every time. King likes to play on himself, and if he does it as well, you know that it's a bit of a direction. There you go.
And he does. Ignoring Peter Bell. Comes longer towards Spider Burton, and that's a very difficult one for him. He may pay a high price here. Cameron Bruce flicks it back in towards half forward. Clean bowls a couple. The Wizard wanted it desperately, but it wasn't to be. Martin Pike, if it sits, can go wide to McCartney. He does so too, and they'll get out of trouble.
Simpson at halfback. Delivers. Wants Clayton or Makepeace. Clayton against the flow did pretty well. Then got a high one, no free kick, and the Demons will get the free kick at centre halfback.
He did get a clip then, Clayton. Got one across the top of the head. He was a little bit stiff not to receive.
Woden got it in short. He's just stacking up, getting possessions, and then good long kick. Neitz has got it. Martin wins the ground.
Bruce, we're talking about Woden.
Neitz is on, right to the goal square. Uze's got it, and Uze kicks the goal.
We talk about the possessions. Woden, Leoncelli and Phoebe have 43 between them.
So we see David Schwartz coming off for a spell, but you often wonder how a player finds himself in the goal square with no one else for 30 or 40 odd metres, and that's what's happened. Mick Martin slipped over, David Neitz slips up, and he goes, hang on a minute, Adam Uze's down there and there's no one with him. Cooey just got lost in traffic. He snuck down there and no one pulled the defender back to pick him up.
And now 8 Melbourne players have kicked goals. They have just one multiple goal kicker, that's the Wizard. He has 4.
Lee Colbert's gone to full forward and Spider Burton's come off, so Colbert to full forward.
Thanks, Roosie. Centre break 6-2 in favour of Melbourne this quarter. 11-8 plays 9-1. McKernan on the ball, could have given a decent old shove.
He's been very good, Troy Simmons, since he's come on. Been particularly good in the centre bounces.
Here goes Simmons. To half forward, towards Neitz, in front, 2
Oh, that's a mark.
Not being paid, he's called to play on. He does, he goes wide to the outer side. Got the call. Stevens locks it up on Adam Uze, and umpire Gavin Dorr decides that he will take charge.
Sandy, when they lost to the Kangaroos in round 17, the Kangaroos kicked 11 goals in the second quarter, but only 3 for the rest of the match.
The crowd just saw the replay of the David Neitz mark, and they don't like the decision either.
Oh, that was clever by Johnston. Very, very clever, and deserved a better finish. Not to be. 1 behind. Uze busy.
Gee, that scoreboard suddenly looks lopsided. That's 11-9 to 9-1. 20 shots to 10.
Well, they've doubled the entrances inside 50.
Kick it short. He's got a couple wide. Trying to set up Blakey to Archer. So they haven't got far, have they, the Kangas? Archer to Blakey, still inside the defensive 50. They've handled it a lot, which is not the way they've played over the last 8 seasons. Blakey's high ball, Carey, well done. Ingerson has to sit and wait. Clayton to Makepeace, a hot handball. Woden read it better than Stevens, and then hooks it back to full forward. Get a bouncing ball. Martin, interestingly, didn't take it. Held it away. They had the numbers, the Kangas, but Mickey wasn't confident enough to take it.
That's self-induced pressure. The ball's come in so many times. I think that's the 17th, 18th time it's come into their forward line this quarter, as opposed to 8.
Did you see Johnny Blakey give him a mouthful?
And I think Mickey might have just said, well, no one told me I was clear.
Well, words to that effect.
Here's Neitz. Well, I don't think that travelled a quiet distance.
It travelled 2, Sandy, 2 metres at least, not quite 10. He was a game man claiming that. Look at that spectator going berserk.
Well, he's one spectator I wouldn't argue with.
You talk about bringing it inside 50. Woden has been wonderful in that department. He's looking at 7 times at the moment. Neitz has got to beat a couple on the outer side. We're counting down to half-time. Colbert, as you can see, on the ground, still looking for his first touch.
He's had 10 possessions, Woden, for this quarter.
Leoncelli plays on. up towards half forward again. Melbourne have the numbers. Neitz starting to dominate. David Neitz on the outer side.
He's running out of steam, Mick Martin. He just can't go with him, and Neitz is sensing it now, and he's just pushing in for the kill now.
Comes inboard, Alistair Nicholson. Plays on quickly. I think Melbourne's coming in for the kill. Ward flicks it in towards half forward. Powell, off the pack he goes, and he kicks a goal. Now they're setting it up. Powell gets his second, and just maybe the banks of the old dam are about to burst.
And I'll tell you what created that goal, and Stephen Powell acknowledged it. You can see Russell Robertson in screen there leading for in the pocket. He comes from the pocket and he makes a contest here when it looks like it's going to be a mark to McKernan, and he comes, he pops one high, but he forces the ball down to ground. Stephen Powell puts himself front and square and kicks a good goal.
Only 5 handballs to Russell Robertson, but his importance is measured by how many times. He's like a forward in rugby. He just hits up the ball. He just meets the ball when it comes in. What's for Woden here on the clearances?
It's the big margin of the match. The Kangaroos need at least one before half-time. 27-point margin. They're winning so many one-on-ones now, aren't they?
He'll get it again.
Johnston inside to Woden to Phoebe, and Phoebe goes to full forward. Farmer's at the back. He's got it. He's kicked 5, the whiz.
He's angry and happy.
I'll tell you what, he got some great assistance from David Neitz then. Neitz just backed back. He kept backing back, and he takes John Blakey out of the contest by backing back so hard. And in the end, he may have been paid the free kick, David Neitz, and I think the umpire waved play on and let Jeff Farmer go on and kick the goal.
Mick's gone. Mick's just out of steam. He's brave, he's valiant, but Mick just can't push back any. There he goes. Mick's just come off the ground.
So he played 2 of the last 9 matches, Mick Martin. He's really short of a gallop.
Yeah, he's off the ground now. He just couldn't push back with the incoming ball.
The margin at quarter time was 10 points, and there is Mick taking in the oxygen as quickly as he can. He's saying, "Oh heck, I reckon I'm buggered."
He's talking about his shoulder too to the doctor down here, Mickey Martin. I don't think his shoulder's all that flash.
I know, Roosie. Keep an eye on as we go again. Harvey flicks it out. Clayton gets a hurried kick towards the half-forward line. As I said, the margin was 10 points at quarter time. It's ballooned out now to 33, and it may get bigger before quarter time. McDonald showing them how to do it. He comes away for the Demons, goes wider towards Uze and Stevens. Uze will be the first to recover. Away goes Adam Uze, flicking it inboard. That's beautifully done towards Leoncelli. Cops one and plays on. He's outside 50. He's inside 50 now. Worm-burning brute of a pass goes in towards Farmer, who tries a little magic.
I don't even think there was a 1 in 1,000 chance of that one coming off. I don't know what he was trying to. He needed to kick that back over his head out of midair.
Blakey to Bell. Peter Bell from half-back.
I wanted to see him have a go, though.
You would have been disappointed if he hadn't tried.
Great to have the excitement machines in the game as Abraham comes inboard. Finds Simpson. He looks towards half-forward. Ingerson comes back again. Kangaroos look a little dishevelled at the moment. Phoebe will keep it in play and does so. Trying to chop his way through as Daniel Ward does so with ease. The Demons have got the numbers. They could raffle this. Comes back towards Collins. Takes the hand pass from McDonald. Kicks towards half forward. McCartney came over the top. Could have almost interfered with Cameron Bruce. Clever little toe poke. Powell, you can kick another one. He steadies. He shoots. And he goals. And they're hot. Powell has 3.
At the moment, the Kangaroos are being completely overwhelmed by the run of the Demons midfield. I mean, if you were to compare the stats of Shannon Grant, Anthony Stevens, Brent Harvey, and Peter Bell, who started to come into a little bit this quarter, but if you compare those with Woden and Uze and a couple of the others, Powell in particular, who's starting to kick a few goals now, they are just getting dominated, absolutely dominated. Leoncelli, another who's getting plenty of the ball, and they've got no hope if they can't stop some of this midfield run.
Kick 7-5, 8-5, make it to 4 goals straight. In fact, they've kicked the last 5 goals of the match. It was 9-7 to 9-1 not too long ago. It's now 14-10 to 9-1. Absolutely dominating here, tearing them apart, putting them out of the competition, you'd think. Johnston bangs to full forward. Good mark, Colbert at the back. First touch for him. Loose kick, though. Danger. Bruce and Farmer running hard with Pike. Still with the Wizard. Still with the wizard. Well done, McCartney on hands and knees. Well done, he slaps it, can't get rid of it. Leoncelli, Simpson, back to Leoncelli. Left foot floating ball, not long to go. Mark taken by Bruce.
Oh, you've got to go back and have a big talk from there. It was kicked from about 55 metres out on the boundary.
They just overwhelmed them, didn't they, with numbers in the end there on that contest. Where's Blighty?
Cameron Bruce.
Oh!
Well, they have played a magnificent first half of football. They've been every bit as good as we thought they might be. The Kangaroos have had a real red-hot go, but at half-time they're facing a huge deficit here. And Carey and co are looking down the barrel. At half-time, it's 14-10 to 9-1. One of the big preliminary finals on the big sports network here. Do they strike a chord?
They're not going to get there with fitness. They've got to get there with guile, position, placement, just everything in their arsenal.
Carey in the goal square on Ingerson. 14-10 to 9-1. They were just about down for the count, weren't they?